Welcome back, genius. You're here because you want to know how to pick the perfect business name. Now, my journey through entrepreneurship has had me open and name 4 different businesses. The method that I used to name each one of those businesses had everything to do with what I intended to do with the business at that time. Now, in this video, I'm going to share with you techniques that you can use to choose your business name, what to do legally, and then what to do when and if you decide that you want to change that business name or how the public sees that business. So if that sounds interesting to you, subscribe and keep watching. Would a rose be as sweet by any other name? Would Lucretia be as respected as Helen or Carol? Would Apple be as innovative and sleek if it would name Toshiba? Listen, Google is a math term, but you and I don't think of a math equation when we hear the name Google. And the name of your business can tell your clients or customers a lot about the product or service that you offer. Take the product Waist Trainer or the service You Break, We Fix. A waist trainer, in my world, with my Panamanian mom, is really just a faja or a girdle. But hey, it is training your waist to be smaller, right? That's the idea. So naming it a waist trainer as a product tells the audience exactly what the intended use of that product is. And it also gives the illusion that it's some type of fitness equipment that can be used, to train the waist. And that's a wellness note, right? And it helps the person to understand exactly what's going on there. The service You Break, We Fix, if you happen to be any type of digital user, if you're using a smartphone or those different types of advice, You Break, We Fix is a service store. It's a store that fixes things that you break, like your iPhone and your iPad or your Android and your tablet. So that's very obvious. What they do, you break something and we fix it. Now that's a franchise that's all around the United States, and it's very clear on exactly what they do. Now, one of the things that you have to know as a business owner is that a confused customer does not buy. So when you're thinking about your business name, you have the option of having a very obvious name like Waist Trainer or You Break, We Fix. On the other end of the spectrum are very ambiguous names that really don't have much meaning or have anything to do with the product or the service that's offered, but it's really a conceptualized idea that comes from the business owner or the senior leadership of that business. Google and Alibaba are really great examples of those types of names. That the more that the business is out there in the marketplace, then the brand identity kind of develops over time. And then you start to associate all of the good or bad characteristics of that business with that name, but the name itself doesn't really have any meaning arbitrarily on its own. So that brings me to my business names. I'll talk about 3 of them in this video. So my first business that I'll talk about is Vivian Oden LLC. So when you open up the bumper for this video, you'll see vivianolodun.com. And then there's Flourish Media, and there's Behind the Leaf. All 3 of them are businesses of mine. So let's talk about Vivian Olodun LLC. So when I opened Vivian Olodun LLC, it is very obviously my name. And I opened it that way because I believe that every single person who is a U.S. citizen or otherwise should have a business if you're going to live in the United States, because you benefit from tax benefits, tax breaks, all kinds of different things that are privy to people who are business owners. So for me, if you really want to enjoy the American dream, you should participate in the business structure that is here. Now, when you open a business, you may not know what that business is going to be. And that's exactly the situation that I found myself in. I opened my business to do all legal business. And that's literally what it was open for. So that no matter what I decided to do from that moment until my ending days, I could have a business doing my heart's desire, and it could be as flexible as possible. As long as it was a legal business, I could do it in the United States. So that is my mothership, that is my business that's able to do anything. So it quite literally is the whim of my heart. It is Vivian Olodun. Whatever I feel like doing today, that is what my business is. Now that's very different from, oh, and those of you who are in the legal profession, please put your comments below, and you can go ahead and rack me till the end of days, because those of you who do not have a business background, many lawyers will recommend that you should not open up a business that is your actual name, for many reasons. I mean, McDonald's is a great reason. You know, the owners of McDonald's Corporation, if you've seen the movie, isn't owned by the McDonald's brothers, because they opened a name in their name, or they opened a business in their name. So that means that if I ever want to sell my business, or if I grow a product or service and then I want to sell it to someone, I am quite literally selling my name to someone else. And in that event is why it's not really recommended that you open a business under your name, but you can open a business to do any and all legal business in the United States under any arbitrary name. Flourish Media is a boutique marketing firm that works with small business owners to help them integrate digital marketing tools into their marketing campaigns to quite literally help them flourish. So that's a you break, we fix kind of situation, where we are trying to be as obvious as possible. What is it you do? Well, we flourish your media, right? So with that type of name, Flourish Media, it's actually a DBA, which means doing business as Flourish Media, for Vivian Olodun LLC. So the mother company of Flourish Media is Vivian Olodun LLC, doing business as Flourish Media. So you do have that option as well. Which brings me to Behind the Leaf, which is the name of our 501c3 nonprofit, which provides support services to our Flourish Media audience. So the thing about Behind the Leaf and choosing that name is really a play on the Flourish Media logo. If you look at the logo, it has a leaf, and we're quite literally giving a nod in naming the company is this is the good work that we do behind the leaf. So behind Flourish Media, we have our charity work that we offer to our community and to our tribe. So to recap, in choosing your business name, you can choose something that's very obvious, or you can choose something that's ambiguous, and as your business grows, a identity will get developed into that name, which is not as strange as you may think, because, I mean, all of us have these arbitrary names. My name's Vivian doesn't really mean anything until you meet me. The experiences with me as a person are what puts that meaning into the name. Or you can choose something that's very obvious. Now, when it comes to the legal side of things, the next step for you is to register your name with the local authorities. Now, because we're in South Florida, our local authority is sunbiz.org. You go to sunbiz.org, fill out the required paperwork, boom, bam, bam, make your payment, and there you go. You have your business registered. The same is true, I'm sure, in your local area. You just need to find out what that local area is. If you're in the United States, most likely it's your county clerk office, or it's your clerk of court's office is what you're looking for. If you Google around with that in your state, you'll probably be able to find that online. Now, the next step that we said we talk about is what happens when you pick a business name and now you want to change the way that name appears in the public. You know, what happens? Now, that is the perfect example of Vivian Olodun LLC and Flourish Media. Now, Flourish Media is a fictitious name, and that is an actual legal term when you're registering with your local authorities. That is the idea that you can pick any name there is out there, as long as it's not taken by another business or it's associated with something that's kind of banned in your area, then you can use that name as you're doing business as a company and for many different things, right? So that means that when you file a fictitious name, let's say that your business is named, I don't know, Lighting 201. And then you decide that you want to integrate cameras. So now you want to change the business name from Lighting 201 to Lighting and Camera 201. So what you can do is go to that same authority and file a fictitious name paperwork where if someone writes you a check, they write a check to Lighting Camera 201, then now you'll be able to cash that check. You can open a business bank account in that name. You can operate in that as that name. And if you really think about it, that's very similar to what the Coca-Cola brand or the M&M's brand does, because I'm sure you know that there's Coca-Cola, and then there's Sprite, and then there's Fanta, and then there's Brisk iced tea. I could be wrong there. They might be a part of the Pepsi company. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. But that's how they're able to do that. So you have one company, and then you have a bunch of other brands. All of those other brands are fictitious names. So if you want me to make another video about fictitious names or about something else that has to do with business and registering things and paperwork, which is very close to my heart, I'm nerdy that way, please let me know. I'd be happy to make that video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this information interesting and useful. And I definitely want to offer you something. Go ahead and look in the description box. I'm sure that I put something real juicy there for you to use and put to work in your business. You can also look at some of my previous videos that we've uploaded just here recently. All right, thank you so much for watching. Go forth and flourish.